everybody, and welcome to this guide and tutorial for the golden shot. Difficulty level is hard, and I'm going to show you 10 shots, whereof 5 of them is hole-in-ones. And you know, we are going to play not one of the dreaded dunes, which I thought we were gonna play, but we're gonna play one course of the Glenmonarch estate. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. Also, look at our new package on patreon.com/golfclashtommy, which is going to be a website access package where you can access behind the scenes on the website by getting the general text guide for every hole in the whole game. So let's take a look here, and we're gonna take a look a little bit closer about the Glenmonarch estate here. You can see there that this is a course that should be familiar with, especially those of you that has been in the game for a while. First, we can win the obsidian chest if we do get a hole-in-one. We do get the amber chest with the yellow ring. Then we do have the crimson chest for the red ring. We do have aqua chest for the light blue ring and cobalt chest for the dark blue ring. And we're gonna have a win between 5 and 8, and we're gonna get to that just in a bit. Then we do have the question mark. Press that one if you do want to get to the frequently asked questions. And also, if you do need to send in a ticket, you send in a ticket to the Golf Clash report, like I did here once I played against a player that I thought was a bit suspicious. So, okay, now let's take a look at the landing position. First, have in mind, depending on wind, we're gonna play it 2 different ways. So in tailwind, we are going to play with our long iron. The reason we do that is because we're gonna go in between clubs directly in tailwind. So then we would have to go with underpower if we would be playing the rough bump in tailwind. So we back up, and this is the position we start with without adding any spin. So, yellow ring by the rough line there to the right, and then we do have the second bounce approximately 2 green squares in on the green. But if we do have a crosswind or a headwind, we are going to play the way that we do want to play. So, if you're playing the golden shot, and if you are unlucky, you get tailwind, because tailwind is way much harder than playing with crosswind and headwind. With a crosswind or a headwind, with a perfect ball, I can almost guarantee at minimum a red or a yellow chest with a perfect. So this is where we do want to play with crosswind and headwind. Yellow ring, targeting complete minimum distance. You're gonna notice when you pull back as far as possible that you cannot go any further back. So there is where you want to, with the bottom right corner of the blue ring by the rough line, with approximately half of the blue ring inside the rough to the left as well. That's your starting position, and that's what you're looking for before spin. So in this structure, landing position, then spin, then adjust, then you take your shot. In those 4 steps, then you're gonna do fine. Crosswind and headwind, golden wood club, minimum distance with a 10% over adjustment, which is equal to 0.3 per ring. If you do want to make it easy for you, you take a look at the chart on top, and there you can see the one that is to the left is the one that is for wood club, which is also headwind and crosswind. Tailwind, golden long iron, maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, which is 1.66 per ring. But also take a look at the one to the right, the VPR. So, okay, now it's time to take a look at the video. As always, I'm going to summarize everything in the end. For those of you that do want to go directly to play, here you do have the amazing chart made by Tony Richardson to the golden shot guide here. And here you have everything. You do have the VPR table, you do have the spin, you do have the landing positions, you do have the adjustment. And obviously, go into Tony Richardson here, search for Tony Richardson Golf Clash, and you can see his logotype, then you subscribe to his channel. It's amazing work, and you download it by clicking the link in the video description, or download it on the website golfclashtommy.com. And we're gonna get back to that in the end. But now it's time to take a look at the video. So let's start with a tailwind, straight tailwind. And now we're gonna play with the yellow ring by the rough line there to the right, 1 top spin, and we're also going to play with 1 bar right side spin here, and then we're going to adjust for 6.3, we're gonna play 3.8 rings. No curl whatsoever when we take our shot, and we're gonna take it easy and make sure that we do hit our ball perfect, because if we hit great, we're most likely gonna miss green, because the green is very thin, so we need to think about that. We bounce very nicely, and we come in with a very, very nice line, but go a little bit too short. A little bit too short, and we end up being, yeah, it should have been a red ring if we wouldn't be getting the red ring before. But very, very close, and as I said, tailwind is much harder than crosswind and headwind, so if we can just get close in tailwind, I'm gonna be satisfied with that. Tailwind again, crosswind and tailwind together now, same type of landing position, but now we're gonna add a little bit more topspin. So 1.5 bar topspin when we have a crosswind, tailwind together, and when we have a wind left to right, I do want you to add half a bar of side spin to the right. Now I'm not using any side spin, but I'm gonna add, I do have that added in the spin adjustments that come later on. So now with a great right, kind of compensates for the side spin to the right. We bounce, and you can see here we're getting it up there, and it falls in there and gets super, super close, getting a hole-in-one already here at the start. But so have in mind, half a bar of side spin to the right when we do play with a tailwind, crosswind, left to right. If we do have a right to left, we do need to add more side spin to the right, and we will come to that when we summarize in the end. Now we go over and have a crosswind and a tailwind, and now we're going to try to start at the same spot all the time and only tweak spin, because that's going to be easier for us to make it easier. 2.1 top spin, and we're gonna go 2 bar side spin to the right, because we do want to push our ball coming in from the right hand side on the green, because there is a little hump on the right, there's a little hump to the left, and the more straight or left we're coming, the more the ball is going to be pushed to the right. So we need to compensate for that by pushing our ball more to the right and get that to go in like that. But now, as you can see, we are close, but we need a little bit more push. So we cannot be afraid using side spin here, having a wind left to right. And that maybe sounds strange that we're adding side spin in the wind, but that is what we're gonna do this time. 2.1 topspin though, that's the correct topspin adjustment. Now we do have a crosswind right to left, but now you're gonna see in a situation here where I use 2 topspin, 1 left spin, but also when I go in between clubs. So look how close we are in between clubs here now, look here. So when you find yourself in a position like that, when you might running out of time, use a slight underpower. Like let the ball touch the upper hand arrows, so you at least get your shot done. And you can manage to do that well, but it's not a preferred way to play with underpower, because playing with underpower or overpower is almost impossible to get the same type of underpower or overpower every single time. So try to stay away from that, but in the end, right to left crosswind, 2 topspin, 1 left spin. Now we do have a left to right crosswind, but now you're gonna notice that we're gonna play with more side spin with this type of wind. 2 topspin, and we're playing this one with 4 side spin to the right. 4 bars. Look at the ball guideline, looks extremely weird, but the plan here is to get the ball to be pushed to the right and then be pushed into the left. 6.2 gives us 2.7 rings, and then we take our shot. And you're gonna notice now when it bounces into the rough here, it's gonna be pushed up to the right there, and then it's gonna take the curve into the left, and we're gonna be very, very close making an hole-in-one. So that's what we wanna do when we do have that type of wind, because that's going to be the easiest thing for us to not having to change the landing position all the time, so we can keep the same landing position, which is key to be consistent in the golden shot, but then change spin based on what type of wind we're gonna have. So now we do have a crosswind, headwind, right to left, and this is going to be the easiest wind to play with, because this is a wind where we only can use topspin. We don't need to use any side spin whatsoever, and as we do have a crosswind, headwind, I play with 2.1 bar topspin. That's the topspin I'm using, and then we're gonna, for a 5.8, we're gonna play 2.5 rings. And as you notice here, I'm not using any side spin whatsoever, so having a wind coming right to left is going to be easier to get the drop than coming left to right. Let's see if we can't get our first hole-in-one here. We like the line, it coming in very nicely, and we're getting our first hole-in-one in this video. So after some tweaks, we're getting there, and we're getting our first obsidian chest. Boom! Use the emojis if you can. If you're a member on YouTube, you can use emojis, which is actually pretty hilarious. So, 16 Cataclysm cards, I take that all day and every day, but also the Berserker Ball, which is obviously going to be valuable. So, now we have the same type of win, so we're gonna see if we can replicate and get the same type of outcome. 5.5, 2.4 rings, and this is the beautiful thing with when you find an adjustment and you get to try that one again and it drops again, makes you feel very good with promoting that or performing that in front of people when you find something that works. Bounce into the rough, and we see the line here very nicely, and we get this one almost dead on at the pin, which for another nice hole-in-one here with another account. So obsidian chest here, so let's see if we do get something, but we do have the amazing Berserker Balls, which is nice to stock up. Extra mile cards, very awesome on this account. The claw, then we do, oh, Cataclysm again. Let's get it in the hole. So, let's go. 6.1, now we have more crosswind than we do have headwind. So we need to make a minor tweak with this adjustment. We're gonna play with 2 bars top spin only, but now I'm going to play with 1 left spin. But you're gonna notice what I'm gonna do in just a bit, because I'm going to actually change to half a bar of side spin to the left. At least that's what I think. 6.1, 2.6, but I'm not changing anything. So let's see if that goes. I would like to have half a bar here, honestly. But I might just overthinking here now, because you can see here we're getting this baby in the hole. Dead on at the pin. So I was wrong. 1 bar side spin left, in crosswind right to left. Very, very nice. 2 bars top spin when we have that. 2.1 when we have a crosswind headwind. We don't need to do many tweaks there. The important part though is that if we miss the hole-in-one, we need to make sure that we are at least stopping close, and we're not rolling too far and like miss any of the rings there. 2.1 top spin. Once again, we get the chance to try the adjustment out. 6.8, and it's going to give us 2.9 rings. And then we're gonna take our shot. Perfect ball. Let's get it in the hole. Bounce in the rough. The ball comes in here rolling very, very nicely. Once again, another hole-in-one, taking the left side of the cup. But that doesn't matter, just that we do get it in the hole. And it's always nice. Now we do have some tweaks made. Now we do feel dialed in. And now what can stop us from getting this ball close? Nothing really. So make sure you follow the text guide and follow the video. Make sure that you do well with your free shot. Last shot here, I do believe 2.1 top spin, which is a little bit too much. We do have more crosswind than we do have headwind, so this is going to come in a little hot, but the same type of structure, 1 left spin as we did have before. So we continue with that, and then we're going to take our shot. And as you can notice, coming in right to left, the wind is going to be very, very favorable, making a hole-in-one. Left to right is gonna be absolutely possible, gonna be a little bit tougher. Having tailwind is gonna be unlucky for you, because that's going to be the tougher wind. But I hope my shots with tailwind really help you out as well, so you can at least get up there. But bouncing up there like that we do in tailwind, it's never going to be easy, so have that in mind, but it's better than trying to underpower. So let's summarize it here in the end. We're gonna take up the spin here. Tailwind, 1.2 bars backspin. We're actually gonna do like this instead. In tailwind, we are going to play with the island hop, no matter what type of tailwind we're having. So in straight tailwind, we play with 1.2 bars top spin with 1 right spin. If we do have a left to right tailwind, we play with 1.5 bar top spin and half a bar right side spin. If we do have a right to left tailwind, 1.5 bar top spin and 2 right spin. Once getting up to crosswind and headwind, as I said, Then we play rough bump. In a crosswind left to right, we play 1.8 top spin with 4 bars right spin. If we play right to left, we play 1.8 bars top spin and 1 bar side spin to the left. If we do have a crosswind and headwind coming left to right, we play with 2.1 top spin and 3.5 bar right side spin. And as you remember, so we push our ball up to the right, so we make sure getting that nice little kick into the left. Crosswind, headwind, right to left, which was the one that we dropped a bunch of hole-in-ones with. 2.1 top spin, only no side spin. With a straight headwind, 2.5 bar top spin and 2 bars right side spin, as we do need to kick the ball a little bit to the right there as well. So, landing position, we take up the one for headwind and crosswind in complete minimum distance. Blue ring, bottom right to the rough line, then half of the blue ring to the left inside the rough. Then we do have long iron, we do have the yellow ring by the rough line, combined with the second bounce, approximately 2 green squares in on the green. Have in mind both landing positions is starting without spin. So landing position, then you add spin, then you adjust, and you take your shot, then you get the correct structure. Make sure that you comment in the comment section below what you got in your chest and also what you got as chest. And make sure that you hit thumbs up if you like the guide. And don't forget to watch the one for medium as well if you want to stock up with some kingmakers. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in the golden shot.